Right. Good morning, everybody. Good to be back. Charts are looking. There's some potential templates maybe showing up. Marcel, good morning. Mustang, good morning. John, Shaky, Florian, morning to you all. Forget that comment. It's already forgotten, Shaky. I'm just kidding. I think you're talking about maybe the late NASDAQ candle from yesterday. I think there was some tariff news or something that went crazy. Oh, NVIDIA? Okay. Oh, NVIDIA earnings. Okay. Wow, it's crazy that a single stock moved things like that. It's interesting. Cool. I thought there was some tariff news yesterday, though. Something about India. We were going to put 50% on India or something. I thought that was the reason. But it could have been maybe a combo of the two, or maybe it was just NVIDIA. Night, good morning. Whew. It is Thursday. It is almost Friday. And it's going to be a good day, ladies and gentlemen of the world. Getting a little guitar in there to wake us up. At least wake me up. Be right back, coffee. I felt that, Mr. Mustang. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're in the world. I hope you're doing well. Just a reminder that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without any express warranty of any kind, including words of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Good morning, Sandra. Good stuff. All right, we're going to take a look at the news schedule real quick. Let's do a little reminder here. And then surely in about 15 minutes, someone will come in and say, Cameron, there's news at 10. And I'll go, wow, we just looked at the schedule and I didn't see that. All right, today, Thursday, and it is Thursday today. It is 8:30. It's 9:19, but there was news at 8:30. All right. Tomorrow, we have a little bit of news at 8:30 again. So the back half of the week with a couple news events, but early morning news events, which is usually the better. I don't really like it whenever we have an 8:30 and a 10. Kind of screws things up. All right. Looking at the NASDAQ, as always, starting out. I've deleted all my annotations. I'm going to start over because beginning of the week, we had an inside day, which is also the opening, of course. Previous week's close is about right here. So we've been oscillating around that. We have not triggered a previous week's level on the NASDAQ either. So we've been oscillating around the open for this week without triggering a previous week's level. And of course, we could. You know, coming into the end of the week, we still could do that. So a bit of a first red day on Monday, and then we had a bit of a first green, basically peak low, peak high. And then now you could even say maybe that's another first red. I'm not going to. We haven't triggered previous week's levels. I think I was okay with the first red. And I was even maybe okay with the first green, realizing and seeing peak high, peak low. This could be a 3-day or maybe a 3-day rectangle, and now it's building. I'm not really sure. But the week, at the very least, The levels are very clear. The high and the low of the current week are the levels that I should be focusing on, and we're at the high of the week. All right, so I'll be watching this just because we're at levels. We're at the high of the week. It's Thursday. We have a high in place. We have a low in place, right? So peak low, peak high. That's why today could be important, because the high and the low of the week are the levels that are supposed to be relevant. All right, let's go to US 30. Friday, breakout day. Monday, inside day, first red. Then we get the first green on Tuesday. Kind of similar to the NASDAQ. And then breakout day on Wednesday, going back towards the high of the week. And I think they may be even triggered today. We have the high of the previous week over here. Okay, we've popped up, made a higher high today. Kind of already expanded the range up. Let's see, they closed outside of that bar's low once, twice, and then they came down and they did make a lower low. Interesting. I don't know if I really care for this either. Trigger in the low, broke out day one. We're almost at the high of the week, high of previous week. So the reason I'm struggling with this one is normally I really like to see this where you get the breakout, they pull back, and then New York Open is the expansion. Right? New York Open is the expansion, whereas now we've had Asia breakout, London expand, and now we've pulled back again and even made potentially a slightly lower low. So normally I'd be looking for a trend trade here, but the trend trade feels like it maybe has already taken place. Maybe. I don't know. This kind of looks like a decent squeeze. I'm going to skip this for now. Let's go to gold here. We've got 6 minutes until the open. Looks like we made this low on Tuesday. We broke out on Tuesday as well. First day of breakouts, second day of breakouts. We're into the third day of breakouts now. Not necessarily looking for a short, but also looking at the structure of things and determining if that's something I want to look for. As of right now, still making higher highs and higher lows. I'm seeing somebody say we're close to the high of the current month. Holy cow. We'll use the little shift key. There we go. Yeah, we're at the high of the current month, actually. We've traded back up into it. Good stuff. Okay, I don't know if the thesis is going to be clear on that one. The Russell, we've had 3 sessions of breakout now. 2 days going up. We're at the high of the current week. It's already moved quite a bit back and forth. I'm liking things less and less as I go through. So you said GU. GU high of week. Yeah, we've hit the high. Well, kind of. Kind of. So like I said, normally what I really like to see is, especially in these types of breakouts where they break out and they just like consolidate into the end, that is really clean. Love when that happens. I like to be a part of the initial break to the high and then it pulls back and then you get the expansion. Whereas this is kind of already expanded multiple times. So as far as the trend trade goes, I don't really know. We could be projecting the breakout level across and maybe waiting for that to fail. I think that today's one of those days, and you all have seen me do this before, where I don't really want to speculate. I think that I should wait and see how things continue to develop, and then I'm going to build a better thesis in the session. For this, yesterday, we've just been in a consolidation. No previous week's levels triggered. We're at the high of the current week, so the high of the current week is my level. I don't mind it. I don't think I'm in love with it. But I'll watch it. Gold going above. It could. It certainly could. Oil, I really don't. Yesterday was at a first green. We had a first red breakout day one into a lower low, to a first green without triggering previous week's or previous day's high. Wonder if that's a trap. Although we did trigger the high over here. Maybe that's a higher high. Today's going to complete the pattern. Dump for a pump. Again, I think I'm just going to not speculate. I ran out of water. Jeez Louise, right in the beginning. Good deal. I'm going to get off this. Actually, I kind of like the 15 right now. I'm going to hold on to the 15. We've got 1 minute to the open. How's everybody doing out there this morning? It's very quiet. Not seeing a lot of people. What do you all think? Are you all kind of on in the same realm of, I don't really think that there's much to be said right now. I think that the levels are very clear. The template might not be as clear because we're in a bit of a trading range on some things. You like the Dow? Yeah, I could see that. I could see the Dow being in play. Okay, NASDAQ's making a run off the open. First 5. Not seeing much. Me either. Me either. Opening range for the session's forming right now. We are in the first 5. I like this little double top. Made a lower low and a double top. The only thing is they made the lower low and then kind of popped back up. This could just be 3 peaks. Maybe a 3-day pump for a dump. Maybe this is the triggering the lower low. Pump it back up for 2 days, break out, maybe a fail. I want to see how this closes though. Yeah, the Nasdaq's going straight up. The Dow's going straight down. I don't usually use correlation like that because it's going to really be confusing. Does that mean that the Dow's going to go up, or does that mean the Nasdaq's going to go down? I don't know. Sometimes one correlates with the other. Sometimes, they don't correlate at all. Oh, yeah, no, definitely it is interesting, shaky. I totally agree. My dog's back there just snorting at the bottom of my door, just sniffing as hard as it can. Is that a good smell? Goofball. No, this is Paisley. This is the yellow lab. Manipulation. I agree, Joanne. I have a feeling that this has been a bit of a ranging week so far. See, first five. We're still in the first. Yeah, we're still in the first five. Oil is kind of doing a little something over here. What was the thesis on this? We had a breakout day one to a lower low. We're at closing price. If we break below closing price and close, I might be interested in this. Because we've got a 3 peaks pattern. YM tag the low, yeah. And today is Thursday. Let's see here. I have not entered. I have no orders in on the screen. What do I think of GCAD? Let's go look. I need to make that a little bit bigger. Hold on. Timeout. All right. This one has triggered previous week's levels. It's been going up. Looks like we had a bit of a first red week last week. And then now it is breaking down. Yesterday was breakout day one, which is phenomenal. And that's actually breakout day one in the opposite direction. I would be careful only because this is the first time that they've triggered previous week's levels. It is a breakout, but they might want to make that lower low. And then thinking about like larger weekly templates. So breakout week 1 or breakout day 1, looking for the lower low, which happened here, the pump up, which happened here, and the follow through, which happened here. And then if it does break out and close in breakout, using the top of the bottom of the box, becoming the top of the box, waiting for a consolidation, and then waiting for a follow through. That's what I would normally, and how I would normally trade a breakout day 1. And that's what I think of that. If that doesn't happen, then I just wouldn't take it. It already has hit multiple times, and it seems to be in a bit of a choppy, creeper. So I'd be careful. But yeah. I'm waiting very patiently. Hunting wabbits. Hunting wabbits. I'm still looking at this one real close. Would have liked to hold, but oh well. Take what you can get, John. Never be upset about taking a good risk to reward fast trade on momentum. It's right off the open, too. Heck yeah. Today's the type of day where it really could be set up well for a larger move back to previous day's low. That's a lot of volume trapped up high, and that's really on both oil and the Dow. I could see that happening for both. I'm also kind of worried about the close. If this is manipulation at the close, the chart looks like it's better set up for this. Of course, I can't see into the future, so I don't know for sure. But what would change my mind is if they came down here, went into consolidation, we started getting big pins at the low of the day. Basically, they trade into the low of the day, 1, 2, 3, fails to go lower, and then we get this huge, rally towards the high. Kind of the same thing here on oil. We've broken down. We've came down in this kind of 1, 2, 3. Now we have a 5-minute bar that has failed to go lower and closed somewhat strong in the range. Five minutes left on this 15-minute bar. $20 minutes to 10 o'clock. No news left on the calendar. Very interesting. Still have not entered anything. No orders on the screen. Gold looks like it's maybe. Yeah. Good. I just don't know what my thesis would be on gold. I think I'd be trading direction. Because the setup comes off of the level. And the level's down here. And that happened at 9:15. So if I was going to take a low-hanging fruit continuation, it should have came from down at the level. NASDAQ needs to take previous month's high. I agree. I don't know about reverse, but I have a feeling that it's reaching. Previous month. I think you might mean the current month. Are you talking about the current month, Florian? Let's see, Heron. 45,400, where the pump began. Okay, so basically like the breakout level. Nice. Trading back into the breakout traders. Solid thesis. July high retest. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, we had a 5-minute bar that failed to go lower, which is fine because it could have broke down and went sideways for a bar. Maybe even 2. Timing-wise, though, that's a bit of an issue because now that's going to turn into a pen. It's going to turn into a bit of a pen. If this 15-minute bar would have closed lower, I would have felt a lot better. You're good, Shaky. I don't really know what your last message meant, but you're good. Whatever. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's fine. It's not fine as this. I need to sit up straight. I'm sitting in the chair like a shrimp. I don't know what just happened. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. You're short silver. Let's go take a look at silver. What does silver look like? Maybe like a 3-session. Maybe they're going back for the money. Cinema, good to see you as well. Hive week reversal. I see what you're saying. The only thing that would concern me a little on silver might just be price action leading into this 1, 2, 3. That would be my largest concern. The creeping trend. But other than that, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. Whoever took this Dow trade, good stuff. Great stuff. That was a good sound thesis, I think. And it started right here, and we watched it together. I said, hey, I like this double top, and then it kind of burst down here. It's pretty good. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I think I'd have to see a pretty strong, because this could be a 3 peaks, right? Could be 3 peaks. But the breakout of the previous day's high needs to strongly fail. Yeah, that is quite perfect. Quite perfect. Thinking I probably should have traded the break of this bar. See, 948. Come over here and look at yesterday's close. How did yesterday close? It closed about like that. Yep, the only thing I'd be worried about is, I'm not saying this will happen. They broke out. Breakout pullback. Still in a 1-bar range, so we're in a trading range right now. But I do agree NASDAQ's starting to look decent. We've done 3 peaks back to the high. Try not to sneeze. It hurts. Yeah. Basically on the inside of the trading range. First 5. Yeah. I keep on sniffling because I'm trying not to sneeze. Spike the high. Maybe we're going to spike the low. See NASDAQ starting to dump. Oh, skip these ads for you all. If we get a 1 hour close on NASDAQ below previous day's high, new hour will take my, yeah. I can see that. I can see that. NQ hit a 4 hour supply and demand zone. I know we don't trade that, but I'm just noticing it. It could be. Maybe. Triggering the previous day's high at the very least is pretty good. Especially on 3 peaks. The way that it gets to the level. And then the dump. It's not bad. I'm in good profit on NASDAQ, just working out how greedy I should get. Well, where do you think that, based off your setup, that you're supposed to take money? Is it the close? Is it low of the day? Previous day's low? And then just follow the trading plan. Based off this setup that you just took, what trade or what's profit target were you supposed to use? Or was it just a scalp for the session and, same logic will apply. Or maybe if you don't take it, at least protect what you already have. Scalp? Okay. All in, all out. That's what I do. If I go into it and I say, hey, this is just a scalp, all in, all out. All right. I was trying to short oil just now. And I got scared last minute because it's creeping down. It's almost 10 o'clock and it started creeping down. So I hop ship. All right, we are still making lower highs in the downtrend. This is just on a 1 minute chart. But I think I've timed it wrong, so I'm going to wait a couple more seconds here and see. Okay, I think the NASDAQ might be doing something that I would like to see. Yeah, NASDAQ running away, come back for retest. That's what I'm saying. Like the range of the bars is a little too big for me to get in. And they've also came down from this in a jagged 1, 2, 3. No orders in. I am not in on anything. 3 minutes to the new hour. Give me a retest and I do not want. Yeah, I'm also thinking about time, Florian. I'm thinking about time as well. Like I said, 3 minutes to the new hour. How's this bad boy going to close? Because what if they could just close this 1 hour bar back up on the inside of this range? You got this one bar right here. I think maybe they might have closed a little higher here, but look at this one bar back up over here. And we've been sitting on the inside of that bar's range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 hours. I'd like to see them close a little bit lower than that, so it turns into a bit of a breakout. Let's wait for that new hour. I would feel good in the new hour. A 1 hour cluster, an island? I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't remember exactly what that is. What is an island? Like consolidation? $30 left on this bar. And again, I'd really like to see them close a little bit lower in here. Over a gap. Oh, like an island gap. I think maybe you're talking about this one. Looks like maybe they already filled that gap. Right back inside of the range. Did not close lower, did not close higher once again. Cheese and rice. Cheese and rice. What in the world? It's all right. Okay, we're into the first 5 minutes of the new hour. Got you shaky. Holy cow. We are watching some paint dry today. This hurts. Not really. I mean, this was a pretty good move here at 9:30. I just happened to not take it. Starting to feel like maybe today's not the ideal day. At least not for what I kind of came into it with low expectations anyway. A 15-minute bar that failed to go lower. On the US 30 here. Yeah, Joanne, maybe. But look at we've been in this range all day long. They've pumped it up and they've held it in this range all day. 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. 7 hours of sitting here sideways, whipping it back and forth. Risk free on GU. Heck yeah. That's what I like to hear. Yeah. The more I look at this, the more I'm disappointed. I think oil might still be the best candidate, but now that we've broken down with all this momentum, it seems to be struggling to go any further. We also haven't triggered any levels. There we go. One minute and 32 seconds left on this 5-minute bar as well. On the upside, your gas price will come down. Yeah. That is very, very true. Tis very, very true. It's a pretty decent 5-minute close, I think. So I'm going to do low of day minus a little bit. I think I'm going to do low of day minus 10. Low of day minus 10 might be scary. Let's hope for a nice fast follow through. Said that. Okay, we did not get a nice fast. It did collapse, which was good. It forced me to get in a little tight. Now we have a 1-minute bar that failed to go lower. So I need to either hold on or maybe just be done. Stop that. My dog barks at everything. Sometimes you gotta bark at everything. Yeah, that's true. I guess so. It is a shame that as soon as, so this is like the first pullback, right? They broke down, they pulled back, new hour opens up, and it starts to go vertical, right? Which tells me, hey, either wait for a small micro pullback to get in, or, um, you know, so I did wait for a little bit of follow through before I decided to get in. And then I got out, and now they've immediately gone back into consolidation. So getting out was definitely the right choice, especially because this down close bar put us at the low of the day, that's kind of unfortunate. I was hoping for a strong breakout of the low of the day, minus 10, 15, whatever it may be, points. Probably give it another 15 minutes. Oh, to be a dog. Everything is exciting. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're into the second 15 minutes of this hour. First 15 was an inside bar on both indexes, actually. So we've had a failure to go lower, followed by an inside bar. Hmm. Patience, please. Oh, I'm being patient. If I'm not patient in something like this, I'm going to get smoked. I don't really want to get smoked. It's a nice Thursday. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes patience hurts, but it doesn't really hurt today because today my expectations were already pretty low. I think that it still does have potential. It's just I don't think it's shown me something that makes me comfortable taking it. Now it's already traded back into the breakout traders, and the trade might already be over. We're at the low of the day. Are we going to make the run for the previous day's low? Swings are getting really close together. Could be a sign of consolidation. Could be a sign. Same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. They got nothing but time. Yeah, same here. I'll wait. She's ridiculous. This dog, I'm telling you, yellow labs are some of the most, other than like huskies and things like that, but she's so verbal. She makes all these like grunting and moaning weird noises. It's funny. Yawns, the most belligerent yawns you've ever heard come out of an animal. Oh, trust me, we do. We do. We don't have children, so those are our children right now. Oh, gold made it back to the high of the month. Neat. In 7 minutes, I can be free. In 7 minutes, I'm free to go about my day. I think I need to mow my yard today. I fixed my lawnmower. Real important stuff. What was your biggest trading win? I haven't had I haven't quite made it to a 5-figure day yet. Surely to come, though. Let's see if oil follows through. Boy, they're flicking it down there, huh? They are flicking it down into the low without going any lower. Is that the third hit to the low before going back up? Or is it actually going to flush? Look at this, they're opening the spread. They are working it. They are working it, aren't they? Look at that. They curled it back down into the low with no follow through. Thursday reversals in a weekly template. Anybody have statistics? I do not. Right now I'm looking to see if they flush the low, because we have broken down. We've gone sideways. If we close lower, that would be good. All right, 7 seconds left on this 5-minute bar. I'm almost free. Oh, I am free. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to be done for the day. Tomorrow's Friday. Looking for the big explosive move of the week. Backside of the week, having all the news, so hopefully things will line up better than they have these past few days. I will see you all tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time, ready to go, ready to trade. Bye-bye.